Welcome in to the action, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jack. I'm your commentator, and we are here this afternoon for the 2 p.m. social race in MOR esports. This is the Belgian Grand Prix, and of course, we've got our one-shot qualifying, followed by a 35% race, and it is chucking it down here in qualifying. Full wet tyres look to be what is on every car. No, we've got a few people on the inters, but it looks like full wets are quickest at the moment. We'll leave the tyres on screen and see what people are thinking. Kiki on the intermediates climbing up the field, and it is absolutely soaking. V1 Aviation saying, how can I join? In the Discord, if you have joined the Discord, I believe you joined the Discord already. There's channels that say 12 p.m. social race, 2 p.m. social race, and 4 p.m. social race. If you get yourself on the attendance, then you will be able to race. The next one will be at 4 p.m. I want to say it's Gavin Bass that will be with you commentating that session. So do feel free to sign up. I might possibly race in that one. I'll be excited to see how that goes. Ben Dearman currently on provisional pole position. It's Kiki in second on the intermediate tyres. Inters definitely didn't seem like a bad choice, it must be said. Aviation saying, I'm on the attendance but don't have a link. What attendance are you on, Aviation? And what do you mean you don't have a link? Do you mean you didn't get an invite by any chance? Towards Blanchimont and the bus stop chicane we go then. It does look like it's going to be Ben Dearman that is on pole position. Aviation, we were saying in the Discord for about 25-30 minutes who to add on EA to get yourself in the session. So you needed to check the general chat and make sure that you have the lobby host added to get yourself in the session. It is Ben Dearman then that is on pole position. The wet tyres winning out the battle in a rain-soaked qualifying. Kiki in second with MGA in third. It should be a pretty close race. It was a pretty close qualifying. The Belgian Grand Prix is up next. Welcome back to the action, ladies and gentlemen. No formation lap, of course, and we go racing here in Belgium. You can see softs and mediums pretty split. It looks like the softs are the favoured compound as Ben Dearman that gets away from pole position well. Kiki in second place with MGA all over the back of the Mercedes, and that is a big crash In the background, Ollie Football and I believe JF1 going off the track together. Wheel locked off the road, and that is a big, big moment as MGA looks to try and battle away with Kiki. Ben Dearman already down to third as again we've got cars off the road. That was Boko, who's wheel to wheel with his teammate Best Noah. As there's contact between the Haas teammates, everyone seems to have got through, but Ollie Football with big, big damage. We've also got Supersonic towards the back with some damage as well. Out in front, it is Kiki that is your leader. MGA in second place with Ben Dearman in third. Mr. Shiesty runs fourth with Leon in fifth place. Boko sixth with Snow Llama in seventh. We're nearly 3 wide. We are 3 wide into the next chicane. It's Best Noah that wins out that fight and is in seventh place at the moment with Gerver in eighth. Boko down the inside has to settle for ninth place as Best Noah now gets through on Snow Llama Gaming. As towards Blanchimont we now go. And MGA does take the lead off of Kiki through Blanchimont, and towards the bus stop chicane we go to end lap 1 and begin lap 2 of 15. Kiki back down the inside at the bus stop and retakes the lead. So at the end of lap 1, it is Kiki that is your leader. MGA in second place with Ben Dearman running in third. Ben Dearman, though, round the outside of MGA towards turn 1. Doesn't have the grip to make that work, but has got more battery than the cars ahead and will be willing a way through down at the Kemmel Straight. Mr. Shiesty getting involved as we're nearly 3 wide. Up Eau Rouge there for a moment. That could have got very, very dicey, as it sounded like we almost had another car in the wall as we're going to go 3 wide into Lake Om. It's going to be the Mercedes that's in the middle. Ben Dearman trying to fight through. Kiki somehow remains in the lead. Ben Dearman up into second place, now takes the lead as we go down the hill. It's McLaren from Mercedes, from Williams, all of these powered by Mercedes engines, and they are all so closely contested as towards Pouon we go. Kiki going to look to try and fight this back round the outside. Very rare that you see an overtake round the outside of Pouon, but looking for the up and under, now to the outside of the chicane. Normally this is the better line if you're trying to get an overtake done, and it is Kiki that moves through into the lead of the race once more. MGA and Ben Dearman fighting away in the background. MGA so close to going onto the gravel. That time I think he did dip a wheel in the gravel, but it's MGA now up into second. Ben Dearman down to third, and Kiki is still your leader. This is a brilliant scrap that we are seeing out front of this Grand Prix. And Kiki looking to try and make it 2 wins in 2 races. Ben Dearman once again ahead of MGA as we come out of the bus stop. Kiki with the fastest lap of the race. Mr. Shiesty trying to get himself involved in this fight as well, and maybe make this a 4-way fight rather than a 3-way fight. It's Kiki that is your leader. They're not close enough to each other towards Eau Rouge as Best Noah gets through into 5th place. Already, though, 4.2 seconds behind Mr. Shiesty, who is, or was, within the overtake boost, but has ran out of battery as Ben Dearman looking towards the inside line of Lake Om. And there is nothing that Kiki can do to try and defend that. Much more battery for the McLaren. And Ben Dearman moves through into the lead of the Grand Prix. We're on board with the Mercedes-Benz of Kiki, who won the 12 PM social at Silverstone, is looking to try and make it back-to-back Grand Prix victories, which is a lot easier said than done. But Kiki running in the position to have a chance at a Grand Prix victory, that is for sure. Currently running in second, about 2/10 off of the leader Ben Dearman. MGA trying to get himself involved in this fight as well. We're now on board with the Williams car that's running in third. As you can see, Kiki ducking towards the inside line and going down the inside. And Kiki back into the lead then. Now look at MGA who's trying to fight this back. Ben Dearman not wanting to use too much battery in towards Blanchimont. Look at MGA round the outside of Blanchimont. Goes MGA. Confidence in abundance. Kiki going to try and defend the inside, but MGA Gonna absolutely send one down the inside. This is very, very close between the Mercedes and the Williams. But it is MGA that now leads the Belgian Grand Prix. All three of these drivers have led this Grand Prix for at least a moment. Mr. Shiesty still trying to get himself involved in this fight, but is a little bit too far back as JF1 picks up the first penalty of this race. Snow Llama Gaming and Prancing Horse battling away for 10th place. Gerv gets through on CK9K. We've got three people that started on the mediums, those being Boko, Gerv, and Jay, as Kiki round the outside at Lecom on MGA. Does the Mercedes have the grip to try and get through as we go into the right-hander? The answer to that is a resounding yes, as the Williams forced onto the grass, and they're three wide once again. Who's going to win out this fight? MGA gets all out of shape, and it's going to fall down to third. That's going to bring Mr. Shiesty's Cadillac all the way back into this. It's Kiki that is your leader then. Ben Dearman in second with MGA in third. We've got a yellow flag towards the back, and that was for JF1, who has had a bit of a moment, as Mr. Shiesty is most certainly within this fight now. 3/10 back, and we have got a four-way fight for the lead here in Belgium. Kiki versus Dearman versus MGA versus Shiesty. We're on board with the Cadillac. We're going to go on board with the Williams, though, because towards Blanchimont, that Williams car is gaining. Ben just using a little bit more battery to get himself on tabs. But out of Blanchimont, MGA with a brilliant exit, looking to go round the outside of the bus stop, isn't able to get that car round the outside. You can see was a bit blocked in by Kiki on the more preferred racing line, as Gerv now picks up a 3-second time penalty as well. We're on lap 5 of 15 of this Belgian Grand Prix, and it's not Kiki that is winning this race so far. Ben Dearman in second with MGA in third. Mr. Shiesty's fourth with Best Noah running in 5th place. I think Best Noah's best chance of trying to get towards the leaders is a massive undercut in this race. I don't think he's got much other chance of being able to get through and towards the leaders, as Kiki and Dearman still fighting away. MGA involved in the fight. Shiesty is falling a little bit further back. Shiesty just a little bit off the pace of the leaders, but it's most certainly not too much of a pace difference, that is for sure. It's still Kiki that leads this race. The McLaren of Ben in second with MGA in third. And these battles will continue on long into this race. MGA looking to try and get past Ben Dearman. For all of you at home that may have missed it as well, as MGA dives into the pit lane, it has just recently been announced that Carlos Sainz has signed a multi-year extension with Williams. What do we all think about that? Definitely interesting, to say the least. I'm honestly quite surprised, it must be said. I wasn't expecting him to re-sign. If you watch our podcast as well, I think you'll know that a lot of us are quite surprised. Jordan saying, yo JP, how are you? How's the family? How's the missus? All very well. Thank you very much, Jordan, for asking. Hope you're well too. All good on my side of things. Commentary's going well, family's well, missus as well. Cannot complain at all. As I say, hope you are doing well too. Hope you are in a good place. Leon trying to gain on CK9K. We've got Dearman still on the back of Kiki. What is this undercut going to look like for MGA, who's gone onto the medium compound tyres relatively early, it must be said. I wouldn't be surprised if his tyres will maybe give out a little bit earlier than everyone else's. As Ben Dearman still chases down Kiki then. Kiki is your leader by 1.4 seconds, is burning the battery, and that can only mean one thing. Kiki will be into the pit lane, same with Ben Dearman. So Kiki into the pits with Ben Dearman. Ben a little more aggressive on the pit entry, will gain some of that time back. Where is MGA then? He's just coming into the bus stop as Liam goes very, very deep and is going to come into the pit lane. That was a relatively large send into the bus stop, but MGA, this undercut is going to work for the Williams driver. Kiki comes out but won't have the speed that MGA will, and MGA is out in the lead of this race. Ben Dearman about 1.6 seconds behind this fight. MGA is your leader as Boko retires in the pit lane. But I'm sure the Mercedes, not the Mercedes, yeah, the Mercedes and the Williams will be fighting away. As we've got yellow flags flying, and that, I believe, who is that for? I believe that's for Boko, who's just coming out the pit lane, having retired. MGA still leading this race, but under a lot of pressure. Kiki flying along, been showing some great pace today. Mr. Shiesty on the hard compound tyres, interestingly enough. Currently running in fourth is Kiki. Picks up a 3-second time penalty. And how big could that be for the complexion of this race? Kiki looking to go round the outside of the bus stop. But with MGA in such close proximity, it's going to be very hard for the Mercedes driver to still win this race. It's most certainly not impossible. Crazier things have happened in Formula 1. But for Kiki, this is going to be very difficult to try and win this race now, because MGA is not letting go, and we're going to go wheel to wheel. Upper Rouge and Radion. Somehow they keep it on track. Somehow they don't make any contact whatsoever. The Williams and the Mercedes battling hard, battling fair. It's Kiki that's pulling wheel to wheel round the outside of Les Combes. Goes the Mercedes. These two battling so cleanly, it must be said. Incredible driving from the pair of them, as they are still wheel to wheel. We've been wheel to wheel since the entrance to Eau Rouge and Radion, and we are still wheel to wheel. Finally, Kiki manages to get through. That was an absolutely beautiful fight between them, and they're back to going wheel to wheel through Pouhon. Kiki and MGA. Who's going to have the inside line? Is going to be the Williams car. Round the outside goes Kiki and does get into the lead. What a battle between the Mercedes and the Williams, and it's Kiki that comes out on top for now. The only issue being is that battling has brought Ben Dearman back into this fight as well. MGA gets back through on Kiki through Blanchimont corner, but now towards the bus stop onto the grass goes Kiki, trying to get the lead back. Here's Ben Dearman back involved in the fight as well, as we move towards lap 9 of 15 of this race. Ben Dearman with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. The McLaren is gaining. The Mercedes and the Williams still battling away down the Kemmel Straight. Kiki is your leader at the moment. This has been a very closely contested race so far between the top three, and it doesn't look like that's going to change anytime soon. Mercedes versus Williams versus McLaren. As Kiki trying to hold on to the Grand Prix lead. MGA in second place, giving it everything to try and fight away. Kiki with that penalty. And there must be many heads in many hands in Mercedes garages as they realise that it is going to be a very, very tall order for Kiki to try and win this Grand Prix. They really have got to hope for a miracle. And that leaves us, though, with the big battle really being MGA versus Ben Dearman. But who is going to win this race? Because it will be whoever finishes ahead, the McLaren or the Williams. So I wouldn't be surprised if that gets a little bit spicy in the final couple of laps, as Ben is gaining on MGA. MGA is gaining on Kiki to the outside line. Looks MGA. Ben is gaining on this fight as well, but just decides to back out of it for now, as there's a little bit of contact between the Williams and the Mercedes. MGA off the road. That would have been a warning for the Williams, as Ben Dearman down the inside goes the McLaren driver. What a move from the McLaren man. Ben Dearman from third to first in a single corner. Caught me off guard. Most certainly caught MGA and Kiki off guard. Flew through on the inside line and into the lead of the Grand Prix. Absolutely incredible move from the McLaren man. The Papaya Army will be screaming at that overtake. And it's Ben Dearman that leads the Belgian Grand Prix. What a move. Absolutely brilliant stuff. But Kiki pretty much immediately going to take back the position. Look at MGA as well, trying to fight away. He's forced onto the grass. Through Blanchimont we go. There's contact. And Ben Dearman is forced off the road. Ben remains in second place. Lets MGA go, interestingly enough. So may have had an illegal overtake somewhere. I don't see why else he would let the Williams car through, as MGA is going to look for the move again in turn one, last source corner. Ben gets a little bit out of shape, but manages to keep the car on the black stuff, as wheel to wheel again through a rouge. Go MGA and Kiki. Now look at Ben trying to gain on this. MGA has got the least battery here. They all go single file following the slipstream. Here comes Ben Dearman on the outside line with three abreast into Lecom, and it finally comes to blows. MGA off the road after contact with Kiki. He's still in the fight. He is still within the overtake boost, but that is the most spicy moment we have seen in this race so far. We knew it would turn at some point. That is the moment it happens. Lap 11 into Lecom. MGA and Kiki come together. MGA very lucky he didn't get damage or go full 360 round there. Is still in this fight with the McLaren and the Mercedes. But now it might get a little bit scrappy in the final going of this Grand Prix. Kiki will know they need a miracle to win this race. Ben Dearman will know he's just got to finish ahead of the Williams, as wheel to wheel through Blanchimont. Kiki gets the position, as that is a lot of contact between Ben and Kiki as Ben tries to get through. MGA now on the outside line looking for the up and under. And it is getting a little bit scrappy now as towards turn one. MGA looks to take the position once more on Ben Dearman, sorry. Ben manages to hold second place for the time being. Gaining on Kiki is the McLaren. We know MGA isn't afraid to go wheel to wheel through Eau Rouge. Elects against that, but has got a very good slingshot off of Eau Rouge. You can see MGA in the slipstream. Now it's Ben in the slipstream, is looking towards the inside line. Will we be 3 wide into Les Combes again? We will not. But Ben Dearman down the inside, a little bit too deep on the brakes though. And Kiki flies straight back through. Now look at MGA, look at Ben. This is easily his favourite overtaking spot. And Ben Dearman is back through into the lead. But we've got to remember, Ben only needs to finish ahead of MGA because of the penalties. You can see the penalties on the left-hand side of your screen. Kiki with a 3-second penalty. The McLaren, the Mercedes and the Williams all in such close proximity as off the road there. Goes MGA and picks up a 3-second penalty. Kiki moving over onto the racing line. Evidently forgot the Williams car was there. MGA off the track and picks up the 3-second, and that is surely going to guarantee that Ben Dearman wins this race. As round the outside goes MGA now. And this is purely a battle for second between MGA and Kiki. And it all comes to blows as MGA forces Kiki off the track. Kiki picks up a 3-second time penalty. Ben Dearman looking for the switchback, isn't able to make the move. Kiki back into the lead as MGA now goes into the back of Ben. And this is getting very, very scrappy in the lead of this race. Kiki now with a 6-second penalty. And it now starts to go over the limit. Ben Dearman gaining on Kiki, pulling to the inside line. More battery for the McLaren. And manages to get through into the lead once more. MGA trying to gain on Kiki again. Doesn't need to take that position, but it kind of tells us the picture in which this race is going to finish now. Ben Dearman is on for the win. MGA on for second. It's going to be Kiki in third with those penalties, but anything can change in this race, that is for sure. Everything that could have changed pretty much already has, apart from 2 of the guys being taken out. MGA looking towards the inside. No move on for the Williams. As we make our way towards Blanchimont. On our way to the penultimate lap, you can see Kiki gaining. Ben not draining much battery. The McLaren easily moves through into the lead. MGA to the outside of Blanchimont. Easily goes through. Now looking to the outside on Kiki. These are the 2 drivers that have been getting very scrappy in this race. Little bit of contact between them. But it stays a lot cleaner than it has done. MGA and Kiki move us on to the penultimate lap of this Grand Prix. Kiki versus MGA in the fight for the victory. A 3-car fight out front. Williams, Mercedes and McLaren. It looks like the McLaren has got this all under control. We're on board with the McLaren as the Mercedes and the Williams get ever closer down towards Les Combes. MGA has to back out of it. It's Kiki that is your leader then, but with that penalty, isn't going to be able to do much as Ben throws it down the inside. What a move from Ben Dearman. We have seen many a great overtake from the McLaren in this race. And that is absolutely brilliant stuff from Ben. Now looking for the move on the Mercedes. Down the inside he goes. MGA also involved in the fight too, as there's a little bit of contact between them. Ben cannot afford any contact here. as Ben gets through on Kiki. Kiki still on the outside line of Blanchimont. We're on board with the Mercedes driver, gaining towards the Williams car as well. Ben Dearman takes second place. Kiki throwing it up the inside as we begin the final lap of this race. MGA is your leader, but it is going to be Ben Dearman that is going to win this race unless something untoward happens. As towards Lecombe for one final time, round the outside goes Ben Dearman, and he does take the lead. Will want to win this on track anyway. MGA is looking for the Ben Dearman special. Onto the grass he goes, and very, very deep in doing so as there's contact between Kiki and Ben Dearman. But Ben will just want to survive. He wants to win this on track, but he does not need to. Ben Dearman still gaining, but doesn't want to go for anything too risky. We've got yellow flags flying. I believe that is for Gerv. It is Gerv who has retired from the session as we go towards Blanchimont for one final time. MGA and Kiki are still going to fight this out, but it isn't going to matter because of the penalties. Ben Dearman has been the cleanest of them all and is easily the deserving victor of this race, as again Kiki and MGA throw each other off the road, but it goes to the cleaner man. Ben Dearman wins the Belgian Grand Prix. MGA finishes in second with Kiki in third. Mr. Sheisty's fourth, with Best Noah coming home in fifth place. CK9K in sixth, with Ollie Football in seventh. Leon is eighth, with Snow Llama Gaming in ninth. It will be Prancing Horse in 10th, with Supersonic in 11th, and JF1 finishing in 12th. But ultimately, the race win went to the cleanest driver. That is the way it always should be. And the McLaren winning out in Spa. Ben Dearman is the winner of the Belgian Grand Prix then. He takes to the top step of the podium. And the McLaren driver on top in Spa. Well, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in with me tonight. We'll be back with you at 4 p.m. I'll be back with you at 6 p.m. for the Wednesday 6 p.m. division. My name's been Jack. I've been your commentator. A pleasure to bring you the action as always. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll see you when I see you. Until then, take care and ta-da.